Relieve, Respond, Revive. WSFL-TV presents The Rebound, South Florida. Happening right now, the back-to-school debate. It's on the minds of every parent across South Florida. The steps each school district is taking to put your child's health and safety first.
They said it's going to be fixed, but they've been telling me this for 5 weeks.
Frustrations continue to rise as Floridians struggle to make ends meet while waiting on their unemployment benefits. How this man is taking actions into his own hands and calling on the governor to make some changes.
So the phone disconnected and you never got a call back?
No.
And what does that tell you?
That we need a new system.
A Broward County lawmaker questioning the state's contact tracing program after his battle with COVID-19. Why he says the system is a joke.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa MARRERO. It's a topic that's being discussed in households across South Florida. What does the new school year look like when it starts next month? Right now, both Miami-Dade and Broward County school districts are still finalizing their plans, but with the order from the Florida Department of Education requiring all schools to open their buildings 5 days a week, many teachers and parents are concerned.
This is my paper. I have to drop this off today. My choices are attending school physically for up to 5 days a week, or my school online, which is full-time distance learning.
Michelle Dempsey is the mother of a 5-year-old. Her daughter is set to start kindergarten in the fall.
As it stands right now, I would be very, very scared to let her go to school the same way I was scared to send her to camp this summer.
The anxiety she's feeling is what hundreds of thousands of parents in South Florida are feeling right now.
I know that's one of the most transformative, important years in a student's life, but she would have to go to school and sit between plexiglass. They wouldn't be allowed to touch each other's, manipulatives where they sit in groups and use different tools like dominoes, let's say, or magnets for learning. They can't do that. They can't go to specials. They can't leave the classroom. They have to eat lunch in the classroom. I don't want her elementary school experience to start out feeling like it's uncomfortable and feeling like jail.
Governor Ron DeSantis signed an executive order Monday demanding that schools not only open, but also provide the full array of services that are required by law, so that families who wish to educate their children in a brick-and-mortar school full-time have the opportunity to do so. But Superintendent of Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Alberto Carvalho, says the district's reopening plan is contingent on Florida making progress on reining in the spread of the virus.
If we do not reach phase 2 by August 24th, which is the programmed first day of school, we will not transition to a full model of traditional education in the schoolhouse. That's virtually impossible. It would be reckless.
The superintendent of Broward County Public Schools, Robert Runcie, agreeing, saying full in-person learning for students in the upcoming fall semester is unlikely to happen.
At this time, we do not see a realistic path to opening all district schools with 100% full enrollment every day as we were before we closed schools due to the coronavirus pandemic.
In the meantime, Michelle's trying to stay positive. She decided to sign her daughter up for Miami-Dade's My School online program to keep her family safe.
If you are faced with making a difficult decision and feel pressured because of outsiders, please you need to lay your head down at the end of the night, knowing you did what's best for your kid and not what's socially acceptable for your group of friends or your family.
We do want to point out not every parent feels like Michelle. Some parents want their children back in the classrooms 5 days a week. Either way, parents in both counties are being asked to give their input on what kind of instruction they want for their children. For Broward County, there's a questionnaire on the district's website, browardschools.com. And parents in Miami-Dade can fill out a form on dadeschools.net. The deadline to fill out that paperwork for both counties is this Friday, July 10th. You can find all of this information on our homepage. Just go to WSFLTV.com.
Tonight, a Florida lawmaker questioning the state's contact tracing program after he's contacted by a tracer following his own bout with the COVID-19 virus. Why he took to social media to call the state's program a joke.
I don't wish this on anyone. I call it the yo-yo disease because 1 minute you're fine and then the next minute you feel like crap.
Florida Representative Chevron Jones hasn't been shy about letting the public know he recently tested positive for COVID-19.
Main symptoms are like a tight chest and stuffy nose and headaches.
What the Broward County Democrat is also making known, his disgust with the state's contact tracing program following a call he received last week from a tracer seeking details about his own whereabouts.
The young lady who called, she wasn't knowledgeable at all.
Just a few questions in, Representative Jones says the tracing stopped when the call disconnected.
Maybe they'll give me a call back, but that never happened.
So the phone disconnected and you never got a call back?
No.
And what does that tell you?
That we need a new system.
The representative sharing his frustration in this Twitter post yesterday where he described what happened, adding, "If this is our tracking system, throw all of it in the garbage."
It's really trying to bring light to the issue that if we are serious about ensuring that we're going to save people's lives in this time, that we have to do our part.
With cases surging in the Sunshine State, Florida contact tracing efforts have expanded to 1,500 tracers in recent months. In late May, the state added several hundred more when it quietly contracted with an outside firm. But the increasing number of cases in Florida still far outweighs the number of tracers. Though the state remains tight-lipped about its program, this questionnaire available on the state's website gives a glimpse into how tracers are doing the job, asking patients where they were tested to the types of contacts they came in touch with.
We're talking about life and death.
Representative Jones says he's just calling out what he sees, while still trying to recover from a virus showing no signs of going away soon.
According to industry standards, even with the addition of 1,000 tracers in Florida, our state still remains some 4,000 tracers short. Katie LaGrone, WSFL TV.
What's next on The Rebound? Helping South Florida get back to work. A local software company is hiring. What you need to know if you're looking for a job.
Music and movement has always been very important to me.
Plus, one woman's mission to help seniors across the state. It's called Ageless Grace. We'll show you how your loved one can participate.
The latest unemployment numbers released today. 1.3 million workers filed for first-time claims for benefits last week. That's down slightly from the week before. Nearly 50 million Americans have made initial unemployment claims since the pandemic began. And good news to report for Florida, the number of new claims filed the week of July 4th, just over 67,000, compared to 87,000 the prior week.
I'm at SCZESNY, waiting for weeks and weeks. That's been the experience of one Lake Worth beach man who is running out of time and patience with Florida's unemployment system.
Governor DeSantis, my name is Richard Stanley.
Reading from an email he sent to us and the governor, Richard Stanley is in a desperate situation.
Nearly 3 painful months, 300 plus phone calls and numerous emails. I'm still waiting to receive the unemployment that I desperately need.
Richard says his struggles with unemployment started with a previous claim from last year. But even after he was allowed to file again in May, he says the state keeps telling him to wait.
They said it's going to be fixed, but they've been telling me this for 5 weeks. They've been telling me, oh, be patient, give me 2 weeks, it takes time.
Everyone's way out of patience. Like, there's no more patience left to give.
Ty Menard's Facebook group on unemployment issues is still popular on social media, and he says problems do persist for some.
There's people that opened a claim in the past and then they found work before it got processed, so then, but that claim never got closed out properly, so then it messes up this claim.
Richard has been told to wait for the nearly $1,800 he says he's owed.
This has to be better. Like, it's probably people worse than me, but...
Richard tells us he never did get an answer from the governor to his email, but we did contact DEO, and they tell us they are looking into his case. In West Palm Beach, Matt SCZESNY, WSFL TV.
We know how important it is for South Floridians to rebound and get back to work. Each week we'll highlight a local company that's hiring. Tonight, here's more about a software company looking for new employees.
The pandemic is changing the way people shop around the world.
Demand is high where, for us, it's also the demand is high when it comes to the number of customers that we're trying to take on now.
As people have embraced social distancing as a way to slow the spread of the pandemic, there has naturally been a drop-off in brick-and-mortar shopping and an increase in online shopping as people turn to e-commerce to purchase items.
As opposed to a lot of businesses who have suffered from something like COVID, we've seen the pluses from this just because of the industry that we're currently in.
A recent hire for MI9 Retail, Erda Mustafa, says the enterprise software provider for retailers, wholesalers, and brands is looking for help to meet the demand.
Coronavirus has really, it's changed a lot of things in the retail space, as we all know, particularly in things like grocery, which has it's moved the online grocery industry probably 5 years into the future in the last 120 days.
Chief Revenue Officer Charles KAPLAN says there are many positions available at their Miami location.
For positions in sales and marketing and business development, which I oversee all of those areas. It happens to be, just a very strong market for that today.
Charles says they're not just looking for people with experience, motivation, and the willingness to learn goes a long way.
People that are passionate, love to come to work every day, are inspired with what they do.
Charles says you can apply on their website at mi9retail.com. Just click on the Careers tab under About Us. He says there are more jobs available than listed, so to get more information on that, you can also email them at info@mi9retail.com.
Making ends meet. It's what all of us are trying to do as the pandemic continues to change our lives. Up next, some smart shopping tips to help you buy what your family needs while keeping your finances in check. Getting through this with stories to help get back on track as we rebound in South Florida.
We have had to change so many aspects of our day-to-day life due to this pandemic. But while much of the nation returns to work, experts say we should still be keeping a very close eye on our finances.
Whether it's stocking up at the grocery store or filling your cart online, consumers have had to watch what they're spending to make ends meet.
Our future is uncertain financially, so we have to be really, really careful.
So saving and repurposing what you have, especially during these tough times, is very important. Shopping expert TRAE BODGE suggests a 5-tiered approach. First, look around your home. Find money in what you already have. Look for cashback opportunities. Invest in bigger items if you can. Support small businesses and plan ahead.
Surprisingly, Americans have $43 billion of unused tech items around their houses. And so it's a good time while you're in the frame of mind to look around the home and see what else you can sell and make some cash from it.
Sites like declutter.com will buy back your gently used tech items if you don't need them. And you can purchase refurbished electronics for an inexpensive upgrade.
I would recommend checking out slickdeals.net, which I work with. They have a feature called their Deal Alert. And what you can do is enter the name of the item that you want, and then you'll be alerted when that item goes on sale.
Another way to make those dollars last longer, look for cashback opportunities when you're shopping online.
There are lots of cashback sites out there that I like Coupon Cabin, Honey, Rakuten.
Do a quick check on those sites and see if they have items in the stores where you want to shop.
You could save, as low as 2%, but you can save as high as 20%.
You can also support your local small businesses by using sites like giftcardgranny.com. It serves as an online marketplace for purchasing small business gift cards for stores that are temporarily closed.
Yeah, the best way to save is to plan ahead. Definitely take advantage of those browser extensions and ways to essentially save money while you shop.
Meals on Wheels is known for delivering meals to the elderly or those who aren't able to prepare food. But the nonprofit also looks out for their clients' closest loved one, their pet.
If I didn't have them, probably me and Flacco wouldn't eat that much.
If Meals on Wheels didn't deliver donated dog food, Diana Bixton says her dog Flacco would be eating half the food meant for her.
Time I pay my rent and phone, I have maybe $100 left in my check each month. That's not enough to eat.
That's why the Meals on Wheels Pet Food Assistance Program is so important.
We found out that some of the clients were feeding their pets half of their Meals on Wheels food because they didn't have enough to purchase food for their animals.
Bob Mazzal started the Meals for Pets program in his backyard over 20 years ago to help low-income homebound seniors like Diana.
Yeah, my good babies.
The program serves over 300 pets in South Florida every year.
We got bags of food, all kinds of different bags, mixed them together, and then rebag them in Ziploc bags in order to give them a mixture, and that way their diet would not change from month to month.
The organization isn't only providing food for seniors and their pets, they're also offering vet and in-home grooming services to make sure every pet is healthy.
More and more of our clients are living alone, so we see them getting a lot more pets. And the pets are like their four-legged family members.
He's been my companion for 14 years and 3 months. He's my son.
We're challenging our communities to step up and fight hunger among the most needy. If you'd like to contribute to Meals on Wheels South Florida, there's a link at the top of our website. You can also find out how you can volunteer.
I love what I do.
Managing the stress through music and movement. Why one woman says the pandemic may be a blessing in disguise. Next on the Rebound South Florida.
Battling pandemic isolation and keeping people fit. The Rebound South Florida shows you how one woman is on a mission to help seniors across the state. It's called Ageless Grace, and I got a lesson on how it works and why the instructor says the challenges brought on by the pandemic may be a blessing in disguise.
Sure, sir.
That's Margie McLaren.
Music and movement has always been very important to me.
She's using those two skills to help people in Tallahassee and across Florida focus on the brain and body while stuck at home for safety.
The need for socialization and engagement is immense.
But the pandemic has forced many of our state's most vulnerable into lockdown, limiting social options for people 55 and older who may be dealing with dementia or just plain loneliness. To stay safe, many living in long-term care facilities can't have visitors, but thanks to Zoom, a partnership with Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare and the Florida Assisted Living Association,
that opportunities like this bring glimpse of what the future could be.
Veronica CATOE is CEO at FALA. She teamed up with McLaren and TMH to broadcast the Ageless Grace classes to long-term care facilities across Florida, a program Vicky Rose says can be very beneficial.
That's really, really important when we talk about prevention of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias.
She's the Memory Disorder Clinic Coordinator for TMH.
I love seeing that they're able to maintain activity even during COVID-19.
Activity McLaren says she loves to offer.
I love what I do.
Turning the challenge of a pandemic and online classes into an opportunity to rebound.
This is one of those things that we might call a blessing in disguise.
Now, while Rose says there's no magic bullet in preventing dementia, she believes classes that focus on movement and brain stimulation can help slow the progression. I'm Channing Frampton, WSFL TV.
There's a lot to love about South Florida, whether it's living in the Magic City or a small community. As part of the Rebound, each week we want to hear from you. What do you love about where you live? Tonight we leave you with Eileen Ochoa from Hialeah.
It's different living here, but at the same time, because I am Hispanic, it makes me feel at home knowing that I have a lot of people that I can connect with. The fact that we're not too close or not too far from Miami or other major cities, I like that. I don't want to be too close to where the busy traffic is. I like the fact that we have a lot of parks and things to do, and the different restaurants. Like, you go to a restaurant to sell sushi and somehow, some way they make it Miami or Hialeah style, and they'll throw in a few fried plantains or croquetas in there. I would say come to Hialeah, it's an experience. And I've said that to my recent coworker that has lived in Fort Lauderdale his whole 28 years of living and has never stepped out of Broward County. It's different, it's an experience.